Women do, having been historically, and I say not now, but historically, the outsiders, have a terrible habit of pointing out when the empire has no clothes on. And I think this is something upsetting to boys' clubbery. So I think this is just something to watch, and I'm not sure that Keir Starmer has watched it enough.
It's the women who may do for the Prime Minister in the end. They do not like his approach. I remember speaking to Rosie Duffield more than a year and a half ago about her annoyance that the Prime Minister presided over a kind of boys' club. She resigned the party whip not long after that, and the same allegations are being made right now by many other Labour women. Hell, even Kemi Badenoch, in a rather wonderful PMQ's performance, referred to it.
Nobody buys it, Mr. Speaker. Not even the Labour women, because they know he always puts the Downing Street Boys Club first.
Yeah, there you go. And Badenoch would have known that Starmer would shortly be addressing a rather fractious meeting of Labour women. There, members insisted that he cut out the misogynistic briefings and appoint a woman to the role of First Secretary, a post which would, according to Harriet Harman, ensure the boys' club ended. She added, "We need to see far less of these misogynistic briefings. We need far more women around every table where decisions are being made, and we need to make sure that we model that change that we're creating out there in the country." It's interesting, James, isn't it? There is a real animus within the party about the boys' club stuff.
Yes, and I think Labour has some very prominent women in the visible roles in the cabinet. It's just that there's been a lot of sense that the cabinet doesn't matter very much under Keir Starmer's Number 10 operation. And Number 10 has briefed quite heavily against cabinet ministers and particularly its women. And there is a lot of residual anger over this. You know, Sue Gray, Starmer's first chief of staff, is not much mourned, but it's very notable that there was a very aggressive briefing campaign against her, against Louise Haigh, who is the Transport Secretary. Angela Rayner has a lot of suspicions around Number 10. And it's just famously been a very toxic workplace under Starmer, whose very tepid response has been to say he doesn't tolerate bullying, which has been a red rag to a bull because essentially, I've had Labour MPs complain that they feel gaslit about that because they're going, well, he very obviously does. And then he tells us that he would never allow it.
That's right. Libby, I'm always struck by the fact that I remember Rosie saying this to me. It's 2 years ago now, and it's the chickens have indeed come home to roost, haven't they?
Yeah, I think boys' clubbery is very interesting to watch because it does happen at every level. In business, in media, you'll have known about that, possibly been part of it. It happens in politics. People who are like you, who are one of the lads, are sort of an attractive proposition. It's a comfort thing.
Am I one of the lads?
You were. Well, I won't relate anything of which I know because I am a kindly lady. But having worked alongside men all my professional life, it's always clear when something has been boys' clubby and has actually in the end suffered for it. I actually think, looking right back, that the Blair and Alistair Campbell thing was among the worst examples of this sort of rather bullish boys' clubbery. And it's there in Labour in the same way anti-Semitism has been there in Labour. And it's also there in Conservatism, though I think Margaret Thatcher sort of, she rather cut through it for quite a long while. Theresa May never quite managed to. I think they boys clubbed a lot against Theresa May. One of the things is I think that women do, having been historically, and I say not now, but historically, the outsiders, have a terrible habit of pointing out when the empire has no clothes on. I think this is something upsetting to boys' clubbery. So I think this is just something to watch, and I'm not sure that Keir Starmer has watched it enough. It is something to think about.
I do remember when you mentioned the Tony Blair administration that one of the I can't remember her name, which is terribly remiss of me. James or Libby might be able to help. The Education Secretary decided to give it up.
Estelle Morris.
Estelle Morris, that's right. And it was the same kind of implication there, wasn't it? That it was a kind of nasty politics that wasn't why she got into the job in the first place.
Yes, I think she felt very worn down by it. I mean, it's interesting. I think history remembers her very kindly for that.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
And deservedly. It's very rare you hear someone do that. But yes, I think it was quite a bruising operation if you didn't feel like it was on your side.
But it was...
And of course, it all began with that extraordinary picture. Do you remember Blair's Babes?
Oh, yes.
All his women MPs.
That would have cheered them up.
Specimens.
Even I, as a lad, thought, hang on, that's pushing it a bit, isn't it? You know? Just pushing it a little bit. You're already sending your messages in, for which I'm supremely grateful. Jan says, we need Starmer for his strength on the world stage. Who else would be as good as him in these dangerous times?